high-tech solar cells in rural Bangladesh. They provide power for lights and computers in areas where there's no electricity grid. This school in Loa Kura can now offer adult education courses in the evenings. 1 million solar energy systems have been sold, partly funded by Germany.
They're spreading incredibly fast. Every day, 1,000 to 1,500 solar power systems are sold in the country to provide light for people's homes.
German development aid funds these systems for needier households or market stalls. 70% of the rural population has no access to the electricity grid. Germany also funds biogas plants to provide energy for cooking. Biogas and solar energy are environmentally friendly forms of development aid, but they can't yet solve the country's energy problems.
Those are niche solutions, especially here in Bangladesh, for rural areas that aren't connected to the electricity grid. Here, solar energy is our only clean option, even though it's relatively expensive.
That's because this too is Bangladesh. In the cities, it's not just private households that need electricity. Businesses do as well, a lot of it, as in the textile industry. The country's economy is growing at about 6% a year, but Bangladesh is still unable to produce as much electricity as it needs. Companies and residents experience the results in the form of power blackouts that last for hours.
Most of our industrialists or entrepreneurs are facing this problem because our government can't afford the lots of power demand. So we are facing load sheddings in our households.
Bangladesh is half the size of Germany, but its population is already twice as large. With energy problems worsening, some households try to tap into the grid illegally. The country's natural gas resources are coming to an end. So despite the threat of floods and earthquakes, the government is now resorting to a solution that's also popular in neighboring countries: nuclear energy.
Nuclear energy, you have the problem of safety. And we didn't go for it all these years, although there was a project developed in 1964, but we didn't go for it. Now we are going for it. We have had some understanding with Soviet Russia for a nuclear power plant.
In this way, the government plans to produce an extra 1,000 megawatts at once. Germany, which has just decided to abandon nuclear energy, is less than pleased. The visiting German development minister warned the Bangladeshi prime minister against the project.
When she confirmed it, I told her I didn't think it was a good idea. In light of what we've learned from Japan, other energy sources should take precedence. And that's why we're working on renewable energy here, and especially energy-efficient projects.
In addition, Germany has now agreed to restore one of the ramshackle gas power plants for 32 million euros. In contrast, there won't be any funding for nuclear technology. But Bangladesh says renewable energy alone can't solve its problems.
Renewable is certainly the most welcome one, but renewable has its limitations, mostly cost. As I said, no country in the world has more than 10% of its supply from renewables.
Nonetheless, many children in Bangladesh are now growing up learning that renewable energy can play a role, and that in a country plagued by flooding and earthquakes, nuclear energy might not really offer prospects for future development. With the alterations in its own energy policy, industrialized Germany could be a role model for the next generation in countries where it provides development aid.